Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Fringlish here with Forgotten Games with your Commander of the Week.
Some truths can only be proven by practice. This is a favoured saying by Robert, the Arch-Commander. Robert was born to House Hunt, a noble house from the Reach. Sworn to House Tarley, it blazons its arms with a brown deer bound and slung on a pole, on white. Their woods are not known. House Hunt is seen in the Game of Thrones series when Sir Hyle Hunt encounters Brienne of Tarth at the gates of Maidenpool. Hyle follows Brienne through the Riverlands, stopping at the Quiet Isle, Salt Pans, and eventually the inn at the crossroads. He proposes marriage to Brienne there, but is rejected. Meanwhile, his cousin Alan Hunt is also near the large Riverland city, hunting outlaws. Robert himself is trained as a Maester. Maesters play an integral role in Westerosi society, serving as scholars, healers, and advisors to the nobility of the Seven Kingdoms. This venerable order of learned men dedicated their lives to serving the realm and were sworn to occupy a neutral position when it comes to power and politics. Upon completing his training at the Citadel and taking his vows, a Maester renounces his family name and takes a vow of celibacy. He is assigned to a castle or keep, and duty-bound to serve it as its counsellor and healer, even if control of the castle changes hands. A Maester's allegiance is therefore to the realm, not to any one family. His badge's office is a great chain, forged from links of different metals, which he wears around his neck. It is a reminder of his role as a servant of the realm, and is never to be removed. We see that Robert still has his chain despite being in disgrace. A Maester forges his chain with study, and each link represents the mastery of a different kind of learning. For instance, a silver link signifies mastery of the medicinal arts. A golden link represents the study of money and accounting. An iron link indicates knowledge of warcraft. Ravenry is a specially important skill for a Maester, as it is he who breeds, trains, and maintains carrier ravens for the delivering of messages throughout the land. There are some Maesters who have earned a link forged of Valyrian steel. This signifies knowledge of the higher mysteries, commonly known as magic. Only one Maester in 100 possesses such a link, as this field of study is frowned upon by many in the Order. It is possible magic may have existed for a time, long ago, but most consider the higher mysteries to be long gone from the world. Robert seems to have a lot of links around his neck, implying that he is, or was, a very knowledgeable Maester. His saying from before reflects that, giving the idea that the truth is always what he's after, by any means possible. Service as a Maester is seen as a noble calling, one of vital importance to the prosperous realm. It is little wonder there are some who refer to the Order as Knights of the Mind. Before being removed from the Order, Robert would have trained in the Citadel. The Citadel is the headquarters of the Order of Maesters, which was founded centuries ago to promote and increase learning and knowledge in Westeros. It is administered by the Conclave, the ruling council of Archmaesters, located in Old Town. Old Town itself is the second largest and most populated city in the Seven Kingdoms, and by far the oldest major city in Westeros. Dating back to the time of the First Men, it is located in the far southwest of the continent, at the mouth of the river Honeywine, where it opens into Whispering Sound and the Sunset Sea beyond. The major highway, known as the Rose Road, begins at Old Town, and then runs northeast past Highgarden before finally reaching King's Landing on the east coast. The Sea Road also forks off from Rose Road at Highgarden, going northwest, so travellers from Old Town can reach Lannersport. Old Town is the seat of House Hightower. The city is also notable for the Starry Sept, the former centre of the Faith of the Seven in Westeros. It has since been supplanted by the Great Sept of Baelor in King's Landing, but the Reach still remains a bastion of the Faith of the Seven. In the animation, Robert is shown tinkering with a large vial of luminous green liquid. This is probably wildfire. Wildfire is a flammable liquid that is created and controlled by the Alchemist Guild, an ancient society of learned men using arcane knowledge, and it's now based in the city of King's Landing. When ignited, it can explode with tremendous force, and the resulting fire burns so hot that water cannot extinguish it. Only by smothering the flames with large quantities of sand can they be put out. Wildfire played a key role at the Battle of the Blackwater during the War of the Five Kings, as Tyrion Lannister used it to destroy a large part of Stannis Baratheon's fleet. The substance is said to get even more dangerous with age, as is shown later in the series with the destruction of the Great Sept of Baelor. Wildfire is also lethal when ingested. Do not try this at home. Robert is also said to be fascinated with the mysteries of life, anatomy, and necromancy. The latter is a field of study banned in Westeros, and as such, he has a striking resemblance to Qyburn, an unethical former Maester who was also thrown out of the Citadel for conducting illegal human experimentation. After coming into Cersei Lannister's service, Qyburn eventually became Hand of the Queen. One of his chief experiments, Sir Gregor Clegane, was an undead zombie guard who was prized by Cersei before her death. It is a shame that Robert is not quite as useful as Qyburn, and his skills and abilities leave a bit to be desired. When you look at his specializations, he gives iron mining production, which is always nice if you are a hyper-farming iron account, but it's rather specific. His skilled artisan causes your fortifications to be more durable, so you lose a lot less when you get attacked. However, fortifications have always been minor in a defense, and are overall not useful in any situation. And bowman defense, the final skill, is absolutely useless. Since bowmen are not a frontline troop, when they come under attack and the defense comes into play, you've probably already lost the battle. When looking at his skills, he surprisingly can do a whole lot of damage with his burn skill, well over 17,000 over 5 seconds, which is ideal to clear a line fast in the weirwood. You'll often find he will be the most valuable player for dealing the most damage. Especially when his enemies die, he has a strategy buff in his Forbidden Research, which stacks and in the end at max level will add about another 10% skill damage, or another 2,000 points. Then his Taboo Experiment adds 340 damage on his base attacks, which is a bit of a waste of a good skill because you might as well just give him some more base attack. The Immortalist adds 150 strategy, boosting his skill damage even more. Ideally, you want to add him to a party with strategy and might boosters to maximise his potential. Even if his starting strategy is quite high, his damage is formidable. The extra boost should allow you to clear a line without worrying about retaliation. In Weirwood, he will often do more damage than most other archer heroes, including Crevasse and Obene. His stats are decent overall, with a good strategy, but a bit low. One-on-one he will lose to nearly all heroes out there. However, on single targets his damage will be lacking a lot, as many other archers have high single target damage and he doesn't buff any other hero. Makes him pretty bad, for example, for dealing with rebel leaders and elite trials. His also Forbidden Research won't work in the training grounds, and he won't get many of his skills off, unlike Obene, for example. Added on top of that, a commander can simply evade a skill, nullifying all damage, unlike normal troops. When it comes to friendship, don't level him past 10, as his skills are somewhat lacking. Phaeus has one more point in aptitude, and unless you have nothing else to level, you can leave him alone. The other book commanders are Seg and Kevin, who aren't free to play. There is not much reason to focus on him. His edge in the weirwood doesn't come close to compensating for his specialization or effectiveness on other places. Definitely one of the weakest heroes out there, and not something to spend a lot of time on. I hope you enjoyed this Command of the Week and that you learned something. Hope to see you next time. If you enjoyed the video, please put down a like and also share it with your alliance. It helps us out a lot.